I watched dozens of movies, maybe even hundreds. Watched different movies, horror films, comedy movies, melodramas, literally all the kinds. And throughout the years I had seen great CGI, great visual effects combined with practical effects. I love the magic created by different artists, magicians if you want. But in recent years I started to notice something weird going on in cinema. Not gonna lie that it was a Marvel movie that made me notice it. Quality of the visual effects significantly gotten worse. And I mean like really bad compared to 10 years ago. So I questioned myself, what is wrong with Hollywood? And I started digging as deep as I could reach. After watching all the videos and all the interviews about the topic, I found the truth. And it's not as straightforward as you could think. Did the VFX artists lose their craft? That's the question that I came up with when I started looking for the answers. Answer is no. There are still the companies which made great Oscar-winning movies in the past and still exist today. Company Animal Logic produced Happy Feet 2006 and Peter Rabbit 2018. Pixar, you know, is great. Double Negative, Inception 2010 and Uncharted 2022. No, they didn't lose their craft. Maybe that's the quality. The Santoro talked about this on his channel in Answered Is CGI Getting Worse? With more details. To make a long story short, with quality standards going up, the VFX creating becomes more time-consuming. VFX shots become more detailed than, for example, 20 years ago. Also, in some Marvel movies, artists struggle with the frame rate. It's more difficult to animate 60 FPS than 24 frames per second like in the old days. This made me think of, is it an illusion of getting worse?
Okay, let it be known. I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a hug, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold, unlocking the door.
How many VFX scenes can you remember from the past? T-1000, Jurassic Park, maybe Star Wars? What about the bad VFX scenes? Can you name at least one scene except for the Scorpion King? Think about it. It really made me wonder. The reason is, in the past VFX were used rarely but smartly, so you probably can't remember the bad VFX from 1990. You compare the best movies of that time with the ordinary standard movies of today. That's pretty interesting. Nevertheless, let's talk about reasons why new movies have bad CGI. There are quite a few. As I said before, too many VFX shots compared to the old days. Nowadays, every film has some sort of visual effects. Whether it's characters, sci-fi worlds, background or adding smoke. VFX upgrade the picture. Second reason is caused by the quantity, the unwillingness to spend much on different scenes, and it's logical. You can't make every scene perfect. It's just too expensive and again, time-consuming. What I truly can't understand is why some studios use VFX where there's no need in it. Why not spend less money on a costume rather than animating the whole sequence? Film the way the character wears or turns on the costume and then just change it to the scene where he wears a real one. Isn't it better? What the? If you have an answer, please share with me because I'm going crazy. One more reason why new movies have bad CGI is that the studios don't combine the effects due to additional spending. In Transformers, the artists used practical effects such as real explosions and then added the characters. In the Inception, artists combined real explosions with the Unreal. But nowadays, it's too expensive and not that appreciated as before. Movies with bad or mediocre VFX are still watchable, so who cares? Shoot the actors in front of the green screen and use the Ultra key. Children will forget this movie after they exit the cinema, so what's the point of working hard? Okay. But let's cheer up, because I, as many other people, do give a damn about it. I thought about what's the problem with the great VFX, and some commentators gave an idea. Nobody is going to recognize the great VFX today. That's a paradox, my man. When there were a few movies with great VFX, they stood out. But now, when all the movies have great VFX, the bad ones stand out. That's why I'm assuming that every modern movie should have a bad VFX scene to stay in auditor's mind. Like, that VFX scene was so bad. Now I will remember it for the rest of my life. So is the CGI dead? Little note, CGI is computer-generated image, anything generated on a computer like a cartoon, character or VFX. VFX or visual effects are effects used in post-production to modify existing footage. SFX or practical effects are effects made in real life on the set. I'm referring to CGI as to CGI and VFX and to VFX as to VFX and CGI. Confusing? Yes. Forget it. Let me give you some examples of the great visual effects in modern movies. Top Gun Maverick, Nope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Dune, Game of Thrones, and many other. Now let's talk about a real problem with the VFX creating. Instability. VFX companies, as I got to know, are really rushed. Studios can extend length of the movie or ask to edit some parts of the VFX scenes. That's what causes the instability. Imagine VFX company gets paid $10 million for 500 shots. Everything's great. Artists work and get paid for 10 months. But the director or a producer comes and says to change something over and over again. Changes take time and prolong working on the project for 12 or more months. That's the way to the bankruptcy, and that's what happened to one of the greatest visual effects companies, Rhythm and Hue Studios. I watched a magnificent short documentary about them and this situation. Please check it out, links are in description. One funny observation. You saw that 90% of the time that I talk about bad VFX, it's always Marvel. Why is so? Marvel used to make the superhero movies so high quality you couldn't even tell that that was a movie. You know what happened? A silly mouse on the train. The mouse that creates as much product as possible to get some of your lovely money. That's Disney. Guys who will make as much they can will make you cry over childish memories of the movies you loved when you were in school just to take your money. As you could have guessed, I don't like Disney. I used to, but now I don't. In the end, I want to tell you a little movie business advice that I learned. And if you think that business isn't important in cinema, well, good luck in film industry. The advice is movies, visual effects, scenes, scripts are all made for money. Money determines how long the movie would be. Money determines the movie quality. You may have known this, but my point is, remember, money and greed owns the elite Hollywood cinema today. Just money and greed. Give a chance to some Spanish or Thai movie rather than watching Matrix 4. Thanks for your attention, subscribe to this channel, comment what topic you want me to discuss, and ciao!